We touch, I feel a rush. We clutch, it isn't much, but it's enough to make me wonder what's in store for us. It's lust, it's torturous. You must be a sorceress, cause you just did the impossible. Gain my trust. Don't play games, it'll be dangerous if you fuck me over. Cause if I get burnt, I'ma show you what it's like to hurt. Cause I've been treated like dirt before you, and love is evil. Spell it backwards, I'll show you. Nobody knows me, I'm cold. Walk down this road all alone. It's no one's fault but my own. It's the path I've chosen to go. Frozen in snow, I show no emotion whatsoever. So don't ask me why I have no love for these motherfucking hoes. Blood-sucking succubuses. What the fuck is off with this? I've tried in this department, but I ain't had no luck with this. It sucks, but it's exactly what I thought it would be like trying to start over. I got a hole in my heart, but some kind of emotional roller coaster. Something I won't go on, so you toy with my emotions. So it's over, it's like an explosion. Every time I hold you, I wasn't joking when I told you. You take my breath away, you're a supernova. And I'm a spacebound rocket ship and your heart's the moon. And I made me right at you, right at you. 250,000 miles on a keen island June. And I made me right at you, right at you, right at you. I'll do whatever it takes. When I'm with you, I get the shakes. My body aches when I ain't with you. I have zero strength. There's no limit on how far I would go. No boundaries, no lengths. Why do we say that until we get that person that we think's gonna be that one? And then once we get them, it's never the same. You want them when they don't want you. Soon as they do, feelings change. It's not a contest, and I ain't on no conquest for no mate. I wasn't looking when I stumbled onto you. Must have been fate, but so much is the stake. What the fuck does it take? Let's cut to the chase, but the door shuts in your face. Promise me if I cave in and break and leave myself open, that I won't be making a mistake. Cause I'm a spacebound rocket ship and your heart's the moon. And I made me right at you, right at you. 250,000 miles on a keen island June. And I made me right at you, right at you, right at you. So after a year and 6 months, it's no longer me that you want. But I love you so much it hurts. Never mistreated you once. I pour my heart out to you. Let down my guard, swear to God. I blow my brains in your lap. Lay here and die in your arms. Drop to my knees and I'm bleeding. I'm trying to stop you from leaving. You won't even listen, so fuck it. I'm trying to stop you from breathing. I put both hands on your throat. I sit on top of you, squeezing till I snap your neck like a popsicle stick. An impossible reason I can think of to let you walk about this house and let you live. Tears stream down both of my cheeks. Then I let you go and just give. Before I put that gun to my temple, I told you this. And I would have did anything for you, to show you how much I told you. But it's over now, it's too late to save our love. Just promise me you'll think of me every time you look up in the sky and see a star. Cause I'm a spacebound rocket ship and your heart's the moon. And I made me right at you, right at you. 250,000 miles on a keen island June. And I'm so lost without you, without you, without you.
I'ma break you off, let me be your motivation to stay and give it tonight. Baby, turn around, let me give you innovation. Yeah, cause I do it so right. You got that good, good, baby, don't you? Got that good, good, baby, don't you? But you're leaving so long. Ain't regular, that ain't regular. I ain't gon' keep waiting for it. Ain't gon' keep waiting for it. Cause you know this thing, yeah, ain't regular, that ain't regular. Falling into the bed, better boy, no one better boy. Too late, won't make it, I'ma tell him. Get you naked, but I won't tell him. 'Cause you know that there's no one better boy, no one better boy. Falling into the bed, why would we ever do something instead of falling into the bed right now? Yeah, right now. I'ma break it off, let me be your motivation to stay and give it tonight. And baby, turn around, let me give you innovation. Yeah, 'cause I do it so right. Think about it, ooh, think about it, think about it, ooh, take a look at me now. Hey, a little motivation, alright. Hey, a little motivation. I'ma break it off, let me be your motivation to stay and give it tonight. And baby, turn around, let me give you innovation. Yeah, 'cause I do it so right. Think about it, ooh, think about it, think about it, ooh, take a look at me now. Hey, a little motivation, alright.
In 1884, a patient's luck seemed to go from bad to worse. This patient had a rapidly growing cancer in his neck and then came down with an unrelated bacterial skin infection. But soon, something unexpected happened. As he recovered from the infection, the cancer also began to recede. When a physician named William Coley tracked the patient down 7 years later, no visible signs of the cancer remained. Coley believed something remarkable was happening, that the bacterial infection had stimulated the patient's immune system to fight off the cancer. Coley's fortunate discovery led him to pioneer the intentional injection of bacteria to successfully treat cancer. Over a century later, synthetic biologists have found an even better way to use these once unlikely allies, by programming them to safely deliver drugs directly to tumors. Cancer occurs when normal functions of cells are altered, causing them to rapidly multiply and form growths called tumors. Treatments like radiation, chemotherapy, and immunotherapy attempt to kill malignant cells, but can affect the entire body and disrupt healthy tissues in the process. However, some bacteria like E. coli have the unique advantage of being able to selectively grow inside tumors. In fact, the core of a tumor forms an ideal environment where they can safely multiply, hidden from immune cells. Instead of causing infection, bacteria can be reprogrammed to carry cancer-fighting drugs, acting as Trojan horses that target the tumor from within. This idea of programming bacteria to sense and respond in novel ways is a major focus of a field called synthetic biology. But how can bacteria be programmed? The key lies in manipulating their DNA. By inserting particular genetic sequences into bacteria, they can be instructed to synthesize different molecules, including those that disrupt cancer growth. They can also be made to behave in very specific ways with the help of biological circuits. These program different behaviors depending on the presence, absence, or combination of certain factors. For example, tumors have low oxygen and pH levels and overproduce specific molecules. Synthetic biologists can program bacteria to sense those conditions, and by doing so, respond to tumors while avoiding healthy tissue. One type of biological circuit, known as a synchronized lysis circuit, or SLC, allows bacteria to not only deliver medicine, but to do so on a set schedule. First, to avoid harming healthy tissue, production of anti-cancer drugs begins as bacteria grow, which only happens within the tumor itself. Next, after they've produced the drugs, a kill switch causes the bacteria to burst when they reach a critical population threshold. This both releases the medicine and decreases the bacteria's population. However, a certain percentage of the bacteria remain alive to replenish the colony. Eventually, their numbers grow large enough to trigger the kill switch again, and the cycle continues. This circuit can be fine-tuned to deliver drugs on whatever periodic schedule is best to fight the cancer. This approach has proven promising in scientific trials using mice. Not only were scientists able to successfully eliminate lymphoma tumors injected with bacteria, but the injection also stimulated the immune system, priming immune cells to identify and attack untreated lymphomas elsewhere in the mouse. Unlike many other therapies, bacteria don't target a specific type of cancer, but rather the general characteristics shared by all solid tumors. Nor are programmable bacteria limited to simply fighting cancer. Instead, they can serve as sophisticated sensors that monitor sites of future disease. Safe probiotic bacteria could perhaps lie dormant within our guts, where they detect, prevent, and treat disorders before they have the chance to cause symptoms. Advances in technology have created excitement around a future of personalized medicine driven by mechanical nanobots, but thanks to billions of years of evolution, we may already have a starting point in the unexpectedly biological form of bacteria. Add synthetic biology to the mix, and who knows what might soon be possible.
I used to be so happy, but without you here I feel so low. I watch you as you left, but I can never seem to let you go. 'Cause once upon a time you were my everything. It's clear to see that time hasn't changed a thing. It's buried deep inside me, but I feel there's something you should know. I will never forget you. You will always be by my side. From the day that I met you, I knew that I would love you till the day I die. And I will never want much more. And in my heart I will always be sure I will never forget you. And you will always be by my side till the day I die.
We both end up here, but everything seems so right. I wonder what would happen if we went back and put up a fight. 'Cause once upon a time you were my everything. It's clear to see the time hasn't changed a thing. So in this world, do you think you'd ever take you off my mind?
I will never forget you. You will always be by my side. From the day that I met you, I knew that I would love you till the day I die. And I will never want much more. And in my heart I will always be sure that I will never forget you. And you will always be by my side till the day I die. Feeling it, loving it, everything that we do.
And all along I knew I had something special with you.
But sometimes you just gotta know that these things fall through.
But I'm still tired and I can't hide my connection with you. Feeling it, loving it, everything that we do. And all along I knew I had something special with you. But sometimes you just gotta know that these things fall through. I can hide my connection with you.
I will never forget you. And you will always be by my side. From the day that I met you, I knew that I would love you till the day I die. And I will never want much more. And in my heart I will always be sure that I will never forget you. And you will always be by my side till the day I die.
Till the day I die.
She asked me, son, when I grow old, will you buy me a house of gold? And when your father turns to stone, will you take care of me? She asked me, son, when I grow old, will you buy me a house of gold? And when your father turns to stone, will you take care of me? I will make you queen of everything you see. I'll put you on the map, I'll cure you of disease. Let's say we up and left this town and turned our future upside down. We'll make pretend that you and me lived ever after happily. She asked me, son, when I grow old, will you buy me a house of gold? And when your father turns to stone, will you take care of me? I will make you queen of everything you see. I'll put you on the map, I'll cure you of disease. Oh, and since we know that dreams are dead and life turns plans up on their head, I will plan to be a bum, so I just might become someone. She asked me, son, when I grow old, will you buy me a house of gold? And when your father turns to stone, will you take care of me? I will make you queen of everything you see. I'll put you on the map, I'll cure you of disease.
Good morning. Let's look for a minute at the greatest icon of all, Leonardo da Vinci. We're all familiar with his fantastic work, his drawings, his paintings, his inventions, his writings, but we do not know his face. Thousands of books have been written about him, but there's controversy, and it remains, about his looks. Even this well-known portrait is not accepted by many art historians. So what do you think? Is this the face of Leonardo da Vinci, or isn't it? Let's find out. Leonardo was a man that drew everything around him. He drew people, anatomy, plants, animals, landscapes, buildings, water, everything. But no faces? I find that hard to believe. His contemporaries made faces, like the ones you see here, en face or three-quarters. So surely a passionate drawer like Leonardo must have made self-portraits from time to time. So let's try to find them. I think that if we were to scan all of his work and look for self-portraits, we would find his face looking at us. So I looked at all of his drawings, more than 700, and looked for male portraits. There are about 120, you see them here. Which ones of these could be self-portraits? Well, for that, they have to be done, as we just saw, en face or three-quarters, so we can eliminate all the profiles. It also has to be sufficiently detailed, so we can also eliminate the ones that are very vague or very stylized. And we know from his contemporaries that Leonardo was a very handsome, even beautiful man, so we can also eliminate the ugly ones or the caricatures. And look what happens. Only 3 candidates remain that fit the bill. And here they are. Yes, indeed, the old man is there, as is this famous pen drawing of the Homo Vitruvianus. And lastly, the only portrait of a male that Leonardo painted, the musician. Now, before we go into these faces, I should explain why I have some right to talk about them. I've made more than 1,100 portraits myself for newspapers over the course of 30 years only. But there are 1,100, and very few artists have drawn so many faces. So I know a little about drawing and analyzing faces. Okay, now let's look at these three portraits, and hold on to your seats, because if we zoom in on those faces, remark how they have the same broad forehead, the horizontal eyebrows, the long nose, the curved lips, and the small, well-developed chin. I couldn't believe my eyes when I first saw that. There is no reason why these portraits should look alike. All we did was look for portraits that had the characteristics of a self-portrait, and look, they are very similar. Now, are they made in the right order? The young man should be made first, and as you see here from the years that they were created, it is indeed the case. They are made in the right order. What was the age of Leonardo at the time? Does that fit? Yes, it does. He was 33, 38, and 63 when these were made. So we have three pictures, potentially of the same person, of the same age as Leonardo at the time. But how do we know it's him and not someone else? Well, we need a reference. And here's the only picture of Leonardo that's widely accepted. It's a statue made by Verrocchio of David, for which Leonardo posed as a boy of 15. And if we now compare the face of the statue with the face of the musician, you see the very same features again. The statue is the reference, and it connects the identity of Leonardo to those three faces. Ladies and gentlemen, this story has not yet been published. It's only proper that you hear it said, hear and see it first. The icon of icons finally has a face. Here he is, Leonardo da Vinci.
But you're not, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain, when I believed in forever and everything would stay the same. Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name, 'cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Yeah. But everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost, and I felt all of the hatred was too powerful to stop. Now my heart feel like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you, and you know I'll never drop. Yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Yeah. But everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Oh. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. Memories
Hey, come on, darling, stop the hiding, speak your mind. Oh, I loved you, but you left me speechless. Then say if you love me, then say you love me, and you are mine. You left me speechless, You left me speechless. You left me speechless. You left me speechless. Say you love me, that you are mine. Hey, come on, darling, speechless.
I was speaking to a group of about 300 kids, ages 6 to 8, at a children's museum. And I brought with me a bag full of legs, similar to the kinds of things you see up here, and had them laid out on a table for the kids. And from my experience, kids are naturally curious about what they don't know or don't understand or is foreign to them. They only learn to be frightened of those differences when an adult influences them to behave that way and maybe censors that natural curiosity or reins in the question asking in the hopes of them being polite little kids. So, I just pictured a first grade teacher out in the lobby with these unruly kids saying, "Now, whatever you do, don't stare at her legs." When, of course, that's the point. That's why I was there. I wanted to invite them to look and explore. So I made a deal with the adults that the kids could come in without any adults for 2 minutes on their own. So the doors open, the kids descend on this table of legs, and they are poking and prodding, and they're wiggling toes, and they're trying to put their full weight on the sprinting leg to see what happens with that. And I said, "Kids, really quickly, I woke up this morning, I decided I wanted to be able to jump over a house. Nothing too big, 2 or 3 stories, but if you could think of any animal, any superhero, any cartoon character, anything you can dream up right now, what kind of legs would you build me?" And immediately a voice shouted, "Kangaroo! No, 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 it should be a frog. No, it should be Go-Go Gadget. No, 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 it should be The Incredibles," and other things that aren't familiar with. And then one 8-year-old said, "Hey, why wouldn't you want to fly, too?" And the whole room, including me, was like, "Yeah." And just like that, I went from being a woman that these kids would have been trained to see as disabled to somebody who had potential that their bodies didn't have yet, somebody that might even be super abled. It's interesting. So some of you actually saw me at TED 11 years ago, and there's been a lot of talk about how life-changing this conference is for both speakers and attendees, and I am no exception. TED literally was the launch pad to the next decade of my life's exploration. At the time, the legs I presented were groundbreaking in prosthetics. I had woven carbon fiber sprinting legs modeled after the hind leg of a cheetah, which you may have seen on stage yesterday. And also these very lifelike, intrinsically painted silicone legs. So at the time, it was my opportunity to put a call out to innovators outside the traditional medical prosthetic community to come bring their talent to the science and to the art of building legs, so that we can stop compartmentalizing form, function, and aesthetic and assigning them different values. Well, lucky for me, a lot of people answered that call. And the journey started, funny enough, with a TED conference attendee, Chi Perlman, who hopefully is in the audience somewhere today. She was the editor then of a magazine called ID, and she gave me a cover story. This started an incredible journey. Curious encounters were happening to me at the time. I'd been accepting numerous invitations to speak on the design of the cheetah legs around the world. And people would come up to me after the conference, after my talk, men and women, and the conversation would go something like this. You know, Amy, you're very attractive. You don't look disabled. I thought, well, that's amazing, because I don't feel disabled. And, you know, it really opened my eyes to this conversation that could be explored about beauty. What does a beautiful woman have to look like? What is a sexy body? And interestingly, from an identity standpoint, what does it mean to have a disability? I mean, Pamela Anderson has more prosthetic in her body than I do. Nobody calls her disabled. So this magazine, through the hands of graphic designer Peter Saville, went to fashion designer Alexander McQueen and photographer Nick Knight, who were also interested in exploring that conversation. So 3 months after TED, I found myself on a plane to London doing my first fashion shoot, which resulted in this cover, Fashion Able. 3 months after that, I did my first runway show for Alexander McQueen on a pair of hand-carved wooden legs made from solid ash. Nobody knew. Everyone thought they were wooden boots. Actually, I have them on stage with me. Grapevines, magnolias, truly stunning. Poetry matters. Poetry is what elevates the banal and neglected object to a realm of art. It can transform the thing that might have made people fearful into something that invites them to look and look a little longer and maybe even understand. I learned this firsthand with my next adventure, the artist Matthew Barney, in his film opus called The Cremaster Cycle. This is where it really hit home for me, that my legs could be wearable sculpture. And even at this point, I started to move away from the need to replicate humanness as the only aesthetic ideal. So we made what people lovingly refer to as glass legs, even though they're actually optically clear polyurethane, aka bowling ball material, heavy. Then we made these legs that are cast in soil with potato root system growing in them and beet roots out the top and a very lovely brass toe. There's a good close-up of that one. Then another character was a half woman, half cheetah, little homage to my life as an athlete. 14 hours of prosthetic makeup to get into a creature that had articulated paws, claws, and a tail that whipped around like a gecko. And then another pair of legs we collaborated on were these. Look like jellyfish legs, also polyurethane. And the only purpose that these legs can serve outside the context of the film is to provoke the senses and ignite the imagination. So whimsy matters. Today, I have over a dozen pair of prosthetic legs that various people have made for me. And with them, I have different negotiations of the terrain under my feet, and I can change my height. I have a variable of 5 different heights. Today, I'm 6'1". And I had these legs made a little over a year ago at Dorset Orthopedic in England, and when I brought them home to Manhattan, my first night out in the town, I went to a very fancy party, and a girl was there who has known me for years at my normal 5'8". Her mouth dropped open when she saw me, and she went, "But you're so tall!" And I said, "I know, isn't it fun?" I mean, I know it's a little bit like wearing stilts on stilts, but I have an entirely new relationship to door jams that I never expected I would ever have. And I was having fun with it. And she looked at me and she said, "But Amy, that's not fair." And the incredible thing was, she really meant it. It's not fair that you can change your height as you want it. And that's when I knew. That's when I knew that the conversation with society has changed profoundly in this last decade. It is no longer a conversation about overcoming deficiency. It's a conversation about augmentation. It's a conversation about potential. A prosthetic limb doesn't represent the need to replace loss anymore. It can stand as a symbol that the wearer has the power to create whatever it is that they want to create in that space. So people that society once considered to be disabled can now become the architects of their own identities and indeed continue to change those identities by designing their bodies from a place of empowerment. And what is exciting to me so much right now is that by combining cutting-edge technology, robotics, bionics, with the age-old poetry, we are moving closer to understanding our collective humanity. I think that if we want to discover the full potential in our humanity, we need to celebrate those heartbreaking strengths and those glorious disabilities that we all have. I think of Shakespeare's Shylock. If you prick us, do we not bleed? And if you tickle us, do we not laugh? It is our humanity and all the potential within it that makes us beautiful. Thank you.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Well, maybe I came on too strong.
Maybe I waited too long. Maybe I played my cards wrong. Oh, just a little bit wrong. Oh, baby, I apologize for it. I could fall or I could fly here in your aeroplane. And I could live, I could die hanging on the words you say. And I've been known to give my all and jumping in harder than 10,000 rocks on the lake. So don't call me baby unless you mean it. And don't tell me you need me if you don't believe it. So let me know the truth before I dive right into you. You're a mystery. I've traveled the world and there's no other girl like you. No one. What's your history? What's your history? Do you have a tendency to lead some people on? 'Cause I heard you do. I could fall or I could fly here in your aeroplane. And I could live, I could die hanging on the words you say. And I've been known to give my all and lie awake every day. Don't know how much I can take. So don't call me baby unless you mean it. And don't tell me you need me if you don't believe it. So let me know the truth before I dive right into you. I could fall or I could fly here in your aeroplane. And I could live, I could die hanging on the words you say. And I've been known to give my all and sitting back looking at every mess that I've made. So don't call me baby unless you mean it. And don't tell me you need me if you don't believe it. Let me know the truth before I dive right into you. Before I dive right into you. And before I dive right into you.
We are going to talk today about the sequel of Inconvenient Truth. It's time again to talk about inconvenient truth, a truth that everyone is concerned about, but nobody is willing to talk about. Somebody has to take the lead, and I decided to do it. If you are scared by global warming, wait until you will learn about local warming. We will talk today about local warming. Important health message. Blogging may be hazardous to your health, especially if you are a male. This message is given as a public service. Blogging affects your posture. We start with the posture. This is the posture of ladies who are not blogging. This is the posture of ladies who are blogging. This is the natural posture of a man sitting squatting for ventilation purposes. And this is the natural posture of a standing man, and I think this picture inspired Chris to insert me into the lateral thinking session. This is male blogging posture sitting. And the result is, for greater comfort, men naturally sit with their legs farther apart than women. When walking on laptop, however, they will adopt a less natural posture in order to balance it on their laps, which result in a significant rise of body heat between their thighs. This is the issue of local warming. This is a very serious newspaper. It's Times of England, very serious. This is a very... Gentlemen and ladies, be serious. This is a very serious research that you should read, the underline, and be careful, your genes are in danger. Will geeks become endangered species? The fact population growth in countries with high laptop. I need Hans Rosling to give me a graph. Global warming fund. But let's keep things in proportion. How to take care in 5 easy steps. First of all, you can use natural ventilation. You can use body breath. You should stay cool with the appropriate clothing. You should care about your posture. This is not right. Can you extract from Chris another minute and a half for me? Because I have a video I have to show you. You are great! This is the correct posture. Another benefit of Wi-Fi. We learned yesterday about the benefits of Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi enables you to avoid the processor. And there are some enhanced protection measures which I would like to share with you, and I would like in a minute to thank Philips for helping. This is a research which was done in '86, but it's still valid. Scrotal temperature reflects interrasural temperature, and it's lowered by shaving. By the way, I must admit, my English is not so good. I didn't know what is scrotal. I understand it's scrotum. I guess in plural it's scrotal, like medium and media. Digital scrotum, digital media. And only last year I recognized that I'm a proud scrotum owner. And this research is being dissipated by the US government, so you can see that your tax money is working for good causes.
The Philips Body Groom has a sleek, ergonomic design for a safe and easy way to trim those scruffy underarm hairs. The untidy curls on and around your as well as the hard-to-reach locks on the underside of your and once you use the Body Groom, the world looks different. And so does your these days. With a hair-free back, well-groomed shoulders, and an extra optical inch on my well, let's just say life has gotten pretty darn cozy.
This is one of the most popular viral advertisements of last year, known as the optical inch by Philips. Let's applaud Philips for this gesture for humanity. And this is the ad they are promoting the product. This is, I didn't touch it, this is original. Laptop used to solve overpopulation. And if everything failed, there are some secondary uses for... And our next talk in next TED, if he invites me, will be why you should not carry a cell phone in your pocket. And this is what the young generation says. And I just want to show you that I'm not just preaching, but I also practice. 4 a.m. in the morning. You cannot use this picture. Now, I have some mini TED prizes. This is the Philips Body Groom, one for our leader. Anybody feels threatened? Anybody really need it? Any lady? Any lady? Thank you very much.
Damn all these beautiful girls, they only wanna do you dirt. They'll have you suicidal.
suicidal when they say it's over.
J.R. Sean Kingston.
You're way too beautiful, girl. That's why it'll never work. You have me suicidal, suicidal when you say it's over. Damn, all these beautiful girls, they only wanna do you dirt. They'll have you suicidal, suicidal when they say it's over. See, it started at the park, used to chill after dark. Ooh, when you took my heart, that's when we fell apart. Cause we both thought that love lasts forever. Lasts forever. They say we too young to get ourselves sprung. Oh, we didn't care. We made it very clear. And they also said that we couldn't last together. Last together. See, it's very divine. You're one of a kind, but you mash up my mind. You have to get declined. Oh, Lord, my baby is driving me crazy. You're way too beautiful, girl. That's why it'll never work. You have me suicidal, suicidal when you say it's over. Damn, all these beautiful girls, they only wanna do you dirt. They'll have you suicidal, suicidal when they say it's over. It was back in '99, watching movies all the time. Ooh, and I went away for doing my first crime. And I never thought that we was gonna see each other. See each other. And then I came out, mommy moved me down south. Oh, I ain't with my girl who I thought was my world. It came out to be that she wasn't the girl for me. Girl for me. See, it's very divine. You're one of a kind, but you mash up my mind. You have to get declined. Oh, Lord, my baby is driving me crazy. You're way too beautiful, girl. That's why it'll never work. You have me suicidal, suicidal when you say it's over. Damn, all these beautiful girls, they only wanna do you dirt. They'll have you suicidal, suicidal when they say it's over. Now we're fussing and now we're fighting. Please tell me why I'm feeling slighted and I don't know how to make it better. Make it better. You're dating other guys, you're telling me lies. Oh, I can't believe what I'm seeing with my eyes. I'm losing my mind and I don't think it's clever. Think it's clever. You're way too beautiful, girl. That's why it'll never work. You have me suicidal, suicidal